Hi, I'm Michael Baker, the CEO and Managing Director of Arovella Therapeutics, and we are an ASX-listed biotechnology company, and we specialise in developing drugs across a range of areas, but we have two major focus areas, the first being cancer and the second being conditions that affect or impact the central nervous system. At Arovella Therapeutics, we've been looking for quite some time to bring new technologies and platforms into the business. And we do have a team that has quite a lot of experience in sourcing, evaluating and acquiring technologies. And so we've really been putting our networks to good use, looking around the globe to find these technologies across the US and Europe. And when we came across the data that had been generated in Imperial College London out of the lab of Professor Dimitri, it was something that stood out to us immediately. And we were quite excited by what we saw. And so we think that this is a platform technology using the iNKT cell therapy that we do think has the potential to have a very big impact on the lives of cancer patients. Professor Dimitri is not just an academic researcher, he's also a trained hematologist. And that was something that was quite important to us because he sees the devastation that these diseases cause by interacting on a daily basis with patients and of course the lives of their loved ones. And so we really thought that was important because the enthusiasm and passion feeds into his research and he understands what it takes to get a product like this into clinical trials and then ultimately into the hands of patients that need them.
In the field of cellular immunotherapy, CAR T cells are the most prominent example of recent success in treating blood cancers. We have taken the concept of CAR T cells further by using, instead of T cells, invariant iNKT cells, which we equip with CARs, chimeric antigen receptors. And the two together have combined provide a number of advantages, which we are confident will increase the efficacy of CAR-based immunotherapy and will broaden the application of CAR-based immunotherapy beyond blood cancers into solid tumor cancers, but also for autoimmune disease and chronic infectious diseases. CAR-NKT cells take advantage of the inherent biological properties of invariant NKT cells. While we know that CARs, when they are introduced into T cells, they can engage and target tumor-associated molecules or proteins. iNKT cells, they can do exactly the same. But in addition to that, iNKT cells have a receptor called invariant T cell receptor, which can engage with a molecule that many B-cell lymphomas have, called CD1D. And this is a physiological interaction. So when we have an anti-CD19 CAR-NKT, it can engage with two molecules on the surface of the cancer cell, with CD19 and with CD1D. And this dual targeting, as our work has shown, increases the efficacy and the ability of CAR-NKT cells to kill lymphoma cells better than CAR T cells can do. Actually, they can cooperate with other aspects of the immune system so they can enhance the anti-tumor immunity of the patient. Another very interesting feature about CD1D and invariant T cell receptor. These are, as we call them in scientific jargon, monomorphic. In other words, they have exactly the same sequence in all humans, which means when we transfer CAR-NKT cells from a healthy donor to a patient, these CAR-NKT cells will not react against the recipient tissues. It will not cause damage, which would be caused by conventional CAR T cells. So that allows us to develop CAR-NKT cells, to source them and develop them from healthy individuals, have them ready, made, and use them as soon as the patient really requires them.
The license agreement is an exclusive global license for the use of the iNKT cell therapy across human disease, so it is quite broad. And we're very excited to be now in a position where we're formalising the relationship with Imperial College London, Professor Dimitri, and Arovella Therapeutics. The platform has patent protection out until 2038, with the cornerstone patents having been filed in 2018. And what we're going to do now that we've entered into a collaborative research agreement with Imperial College London and Professor Dimitri is continue to do research in his laboratory to enhance the platform, but also look to create additional IP surrounding the technology. And we're delighted that Professor Kara Dimitri will also be the chair of our scientific advisory board for the platform. But even more so, we're excited to be able to take this therapy and this platform, develop it further into clinical trials and get it into the hands of cancer patients.